First Light, August 10th, 1861. The Union began a surprise attack on the opposing forces. Lyon's force overran the enemy camps, took the high ground at the crest of a ridge, which would become known as Bloody Hill.
I'm sure it was.
Early Union hopes for a rout were dashed. However, when the artillery of the Pulaski, Arkansas battery unlimbered and checked the advance, which gave Price's infantry time to cover and organize lines on the south slope of the hill. Lyon organized a line on a southern slope of Bloody Hill, from which he launched an unsuccessful counterattack. Price launched a series of frontal and flank attacks, but also was unsuccessful. A shortage of ammunition in the Confederate Army was a factor in the Confederate defeats.
Okay. The two Union forces lost contact with each other with no means of communicating or supporting each other if anything went wrong.
Right.
Sigel's attack was successful at first. The brigade arrived in the Confederate rear soon after dawn. Artillery fire routed the Confederate cavalry units, which were encamped at Sharp's Farm. Sigel began a pursuit, but stopped along Skegg's Branch. During the break, he failed to post skirmishers, leaving his left flank open for an attack. You can't be doing that stuff, guys. Meanwhile, McCulloch rallied several Confederate units, including the 3rd Louisiana Infantry and the 3rd Division from the Missouri State Guard, to lead a counterattack. See, you can't leave your flanks open, man.
No, this ain't looking very well. This looks kind of sloppy. What's going on here, man?
Oh, yeah, everything's sloppy in this first. Still, you got to realize we're still only in the first 4 months of the war, dude.
Right. Sigel's men mistook the 3rd Louisiana for the 1st Iowa Infantry, which also wore gray uniforms.
Yeah, we need a certain sort that out.
Right. And withheld their fire until the Confederates were nearly upon them.
Jeez.
His flank was consequently devastated by the counterattack, and his brigade was routed, losing 4 cannons.
You know, at this point, anybody that has gray uniforms, shoot them.
Right.
It's their fault.
Right.
Don't wear gray no more.
Right.
Jeez.
Sigel and his men fled to the field, leaving the force under Lyon, Sweeney, and Sturgis holding out alone. With the rout of Sigel's flank, the momentum of the battle shifted in the South's favor.
Yeah.
Lyon was wounded twice and worried that the day was lost. He attempted to lead a counterattack. However, Lyon was shot in the heart. The old Lyon heart. Chris Jericho, that's where he got it from, huh? And the charge fell apart after his death.
Yeah, when your leader's gone, dude, I mean, you're just demoralized after that. Poor Lyon, too. He rose to prominence in the first couple months and then dies like that, huh? Lyon became the first Union general to be killed in the war. General Sweeney was shot in the leg, and Major Sturgis, as the highest-ranking regular Army officer, assumed command of the Union Army. Lyon was the overall leader, wasn't he?
Overall.
So now we got Sturgis, the leader here. Despite still being in a defensible position atop the hill, Union supplies were low and morale was worsening.
What the hell is he doing in Missouri?
By 11 a.m., the Union forces had already repulsed 3 separate Confederate charges. Ammunition and men were nearly exhausted, and Sturgis retreated rather than risk a 4th Confederate attack. Probably smart.
Right.
Henry Clay Wood, in command of a company that helped cover the retreat, later received the Medal of Honor for the heroism he displayed in keeping his company organized and functioning as it left the battlefield.
Huh.
Yeah, because as we see in the Bull Run and other places, nobody can retreat in an orderly fashion.
Right.
So
it's ridiculous.
At least old Henry Clay Wood knew what he was doing.
Right. He's like, calmly back off, guys.
Got to be organized, stay together, and
good.
Yeah.
The casualties were about equal on both sides, around 1,317 Union, and an estimated 1,232 Confederate, Missourian, Arkansas soldiers were either killed, wounded, or captured. Though the Confederate force won the field, they were unable to pursue their retreating Union forces to Rolla. Price wanted to start a pursuit of the Union force immediately, but McCulloch refused, worried about the quality of the Missouri State Guard and the length of his supply line back to Arkansas.
Damn.
With the victory, Price's Missouri Guard began an invasion of northern Missouri that culminated in the First Battle of Lexington, September 20th.
Which will happen in a couple of months.
The Confederate and Arkansas forces withdrew from the state.
From the whole state?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. After the Battle of Lexington, so I guess we'll see what happens there. After falling back to Springfield, Sturgis handed command of the Union Army over to Sigel. At a council of war that evening, it was agreed that the Army had to fall back to Rolla beginning at 3 a.m. the next morning. However, Sigel failed to get his brigade ready at that time, forcing a delay of several hours.
Ooh.
Jeez, and what I swear to God, these people are stupid, dude. Along the retreat route, Sigel's men took several lengthy delays to prepare meals. This caused the other officers to force Sigel to turn command back over to Sturgis. Yeah, should have just let Sturgis do the whole thing. Idiots.
Idiots.
That's dumb.
October 30th, the Missourians under Price and Jackson formally joined the Confederate cause in Neosho, Missouri. A rump of the Missouri State Assembly meeting in Neosho passed the resolutions of the Missouri Secession, and Jackson became nominally the governor of Confederate Missouri. Jackson had never accepted his July removal from office by the state convention. However, the secession action was never accepted by most of the population of Missouri, and the state remained in the Union throughout the war.
Sure did.
So they tried.
They tried.
They tried this. We'll just make our own.
He had his little section that he probably ran. That's about it.
You know it. You know it.
What little control Price and Jackson did have was diminished by Confederate reverses during the battles of Fredericktown on October 21st and the First Battle of Springfield on October 25th. The Confederate state government was soon forced to leave the state altogether. Although Price enjoyed some Missouri victories, notably the siege and capture of Lexington, he did not have the popular support to remain in the field, eventually retreating to northwest Arkansas.
Okay.
After 1861, he was commissioned as a Confederate major general and led his forces in battles in Arkansas and Mississippi. While there were smaller incursions and skirmishes in Missouri, Price did not return to Missouri with a major force until 1864. He said, "I'm back.
I'm back.
And better than ever." Got gray hair.
Right. Nevertheless, Missouri suffered extensive guerrilla warfare between Unionists and pro-Confederate bushwhackers, such as Quantrill's Raiders and Bloody Bill Anderson's throughout the war.
Mm-hmm.
By early 1862, Federal forces had effectively pushed Price out of Missouri. An army under Union General Samuel Ryan Curtis pursued Price into Arkansas, where General Earl Van Dorn assumed command of the combined forces led by Price and McCulloch. Outnumbered, Curtis nonetheless defeated Van Dorn's Confederate Army of the West at the Battle of Pea Ridge, 6th and through the 8th of March, ending any attempt...
In 1862, so that's like a year away.
Right. Ending any attempt by major Confederate to force occupy Missouri until Price's raid in 1864.
All right, we're getting there. The Battle of Wilson's Creek was the first major battle fought west of the Mississippi River, and the battle was known as the Battle of Oak Hills in the Confederacy and sometimes called the Bull Run of the West. The site of the battle has been protected as Wilson's Creek National Battlefield. The National Park Service operates a visitor center featuring exhibits, a fiber optic map displaying the course of the battle, and a research library. That'd be cool.
I'd like to visit that.
Live-in history programs depicting various aspects of the soldiers' experience of that area are presented on weekends seasonally.
Okay.
With the exception of the vegetation and the addition of interpretive hiking trails and a self-guided auto tour route, 1,750 acres battlefield has changed little from its historic setting.
Nice.
That's good.
Nice.
Allowing visitors to experience the battlefield in nearly pristine condition.
Oh, shit.
I bet you can probably still go there and dig up bullets and all that good stuff.
I don't know if you're allowed to take like metal detectors and stuff. I'm sure they already did that.
No, not on the battlefield.
Right.
No. The home of the Ray family, which served as Confederate field hospital during the battle, has been preserved and represents one of only two structures in existence during the battle to still be standing on the park today, the other being a spring house. In addition, the American Battlefield Trust has preserved 278 acres of the Wilson's Battle Creek battlefield.
I like to go to that house and just stand on that porch and to think how many soldiers stood on that porch.
Right, and were treated and got
right around that
cut
area.
off.
And we took a piss on that post right there. Or
right.
sat there all day smoking their cigarettes and drinking the whiskey.
Well, I don't know about all day because it was like right at the battlefield.
Right.
So that was just a house. It was like bandage these guys up, get them back out there if they can. If not, then they're screwed. Imagine how many bullets fall past you. You're like, look out your window and you see damn battle, dude. It's crazy.
Crazy stuff.
Crazy stuff. And as far as I know, from what we've read, the only people using houses and shit as stuff like that are the Confederates. The Confederates are the ones holding up the random people's farmhouses and shit like that.
Well, they're usually people that support them.
Well, obviously, but still, it's a regular house.
Right.
Hey, man, this is our farmhouse. This is gonna be our headquarters for this battle. It's crazy stuff. Crazy stuff.
Yeah, man.